Hey folks, here we are for Game 3 with the Arcanis the Omnipotent Paradox Engine Storm deck. And here we have an interesting lot of commanders. It's like Demir, or blue versus black, or some mixture of that. We have Gold Collar Gisa, or Gissa. Also Macias the Unhallowed, which is known to be a combo general. Kami, which is either group hugs or some other kind of, owl, ebony owl Natsuki style strategy or something like that. Something kind of similar to a Nekuzar is what I could see people doing with this. So here the Gissa player is on the play, and my hand is unkeepable. I have no lands in it, so there's not much to say about that. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and ship it back. And here, this hand is risky, but if I draw a third land, then I can do something really cool on turn 3, which is, I've talked about this in the deck tech, and I've always wanted to do this. I mean, I have a couple of times, but it's rare that it happens. So, High Tide into Frantic Search into Time Spiral. It's not a guaranteed win, but that's a lot of mana on turn 3, and I get a fresh new hand. So I decide that I'm going to try this out. The Gissa player plays a turn 1 Skull Clamp off of a basic swamp. Macias plays a basic swamp, taps it and passes. Kami plays an island, taps it and passes. So everybody's off to a pretty slow start, which is fine, which is good. Gold Collar Gissa plays a Myriad Landscape. Macias plays a swamp, plays a Bloodthrone Vampire, which is a sacrifice outlet, which helps with his combo, at least part of it. Triskelion can shoot itself, whereas Walking Ballista requires that you have a sacrifice outlet in order to kill with it. This person plays a Kami, which is... if I could choose for them to not do that, I probably would, because the contents of my hand are really awesome, and I don't need improvement, and I'd prefer that other players don't have extra cards. But this is fine. I'm able to go down to 7 cards here, play the Mana Vault, and pass the turn. If I absolutely have to, I can Frantic Search, untap a couple of lands, and look for some counter magic. This player plays a Reliquary Tower and cracks the Myriad Landscape. Go ahead and ramp it up. And I'm fine with all that. This player plays Succumb to Temptation. It's an instant speed spell, but he chooses to play it at sorcery speed. I'm not quite sure why. I mean, if you want to play it at sorcery speed, you should probably be playing Sound and Blood, which is better than this. But still. And he has to discard. What I was thinking when I saw that was perhaps Reanimation. He discards something that he wants to reanimate later, but that's not the case. Discards another sacrifice outlet. Because that would be a reason to cast it at sorcery speed, is if you go up to 8 cards, you discard a bomb, and then you reanimate it next turn. And the Kami player plays Mirage Mirror, which I've seen this card do some really insane things. There's a lot of interesting stuff that can happen with that. Copy like someone else's Elish Nor and kill off their creatures or whatever, and just do a bunch of weird stuff. So here, there's things that I could do, and I thought about, waiting, perhaps, and ultimately decided, I mean, this is why I made the deck. I'm going to do this. Frantic Search, discard some islands, untap some lands, play Mind Stone. Go ahead and play that at least. Might as well play that. I leave Mind Stone up in case I decide I want to draw a card after all of this, because blue mana is not necessarily the bottleneck at this point. And here, my hand is pretty sweet. I do misplay, however, coming up soon. So I Fabricate for Paradox Engine, which is correct so far. Then I play Paradox Engine, leaving a blue floating. Now I play Mox Opal, and I have lots of mana, and I have spells. I am a little bit choked on blue, so I have to be careful how I do this in order to maximize the amount of blue spells that I can cast. So I cast Everflowing Chalice. This is turn 3, so this is a really good turn 3. And then I play Archaeomancer. Here, what I should have done, almost certainly, was Fabricate here for Lightning Greaves, which would allow me to see another 3 cards. If I tap the Opal here, and I tap all of my other artifact sources, use Fabricate, I still have 1 blue left. I get Lightning Greaves. I create another blue, tap, play Lightning Greaves. And now I have 2 blue and pull, And when this untaps, I'll have my third blue for Arcanis. And that was almost certainly what I should have done. I potentially could have turnabouted after that, depending on what I draw. So I didn't want to fizzle here, and I didn't quite know what I wanted to get. So I just go ahead and decide I'm going to fabricate for Sensei's Divining Top, because it allows me to see 3 cards. Whereas if I chose to get Arcanis online with the Lightning Greaves, then I would have just, instead of seeing 3 cards, I would have just had 3 cards. So definitely a mistake there. I wanted to maximize my chances of winning this turn, and I ended up just completely overlooking the Lightning Greaves, and the fact that I just thought that 3 blue mana was too far away. It wasn't going to happen. But with that line, I would have been able to produce enough blue mana in order to cast Arcanis and have Lightning Greaves attached to him to go ahead and draw 3 cards immediately. And with Paradox Engine in play, it's pretty unlikely that I would fizzle from there. So I look at the top, and I see not too much. It looks like I have completely fizzled. And I put these back like such. I keep negate on top so that I'll have the option of negating on someone else's turn. And then just trying to cast something here. Or cast Arcanis. I don't think I can. Oh, I can turn about to untap my islands to cast Arcanis. That's right. So I go ahead and do that. And this player concedes, and this player concedes while I'm in the middle of doing this. I was not necessarily going to win. So I play Arcanis here, and then this person quits as well. Had I taken the line with the Lightning Greaves, I likely would have won this turn, but I didn't, and I was not going to win, and everybody conceded for no reason. There's a chance that they weren't going to be able to stop it. On my next turn, I was very likely to win if they could not stop it. I do have access to a negate on the top of my library right now, so they would have to be able to stop me through a negate. So I think it was pretty likely that I was going to win this game. Next turn, it was very possible that I would have just won this game this turn if I didn't goof up like that. But here's game 3.